Reds, it's Unicorn Princess here, and today we're gonna do a cool thing. Today we're gonna do a thing that I've been wanting to do forever, for so long. And we can finally do it because I got responses. So I asked you guys on my official Instagram and my spammy Instagram, and I also asked you on my Facebook fan page, all of which will be here somewhere. I asked you if you wanted to do a Q&A, and a lot of you said yes. So we are going to answer some questions. I am going to answer some questions that you guys have sent to me via all of the social medias. Also, there's a cat here. I don't know if you can see him. Benji. He's like there. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight into it and start reading these questions. So I have paper to keep track because I can't remember all of the comments. So here we go. Cinnamon Tea on Instagram asked me, how did you get into Lolita fashion? That's part one of a two-part question. How did I get into Lolita fashion? Well, I was big into anime as a kid, and when I got into high school I met other people who liked anime and we started swapping anime that we liked. And every now and again there's like Lolita or kind of Lolita-esque fashion that pops up in anime, and I can't remember what we were watching, but we were watching episodes of something and there was a character in it that was wearing something really Lolita. I think that me and my friends were in a bookstore in a Waterstones, and we were in the manga section, and there was a manga there called Lolita Sports, I think, and it had a girl on the front of it in this crazy fancy dress with a matching head bow and all the bits, and I was like, oh my god, that's everything. And I'm pretty sure that I went home and tried to find out what it was, but I didn't have my own computer or my own laptop or anything like that until I was like 16. So it was probably a few years before I managed to look anything up, but I actually found Lolita by accident through YouTube. My now very good friend Princess Peachy, I found her drawing tutorials and I thought, hey, she has a Scottish accent, I wonder if she's from Edinburgh, which is where I was living at the time, and I started messaging her. I was also working in a Build-A-Bear at the time, and one day she just walked into my shop. She was wearing Lolita and I just wanted to talk to her about it straight away, so we kind of exchanged details and then we started hanging out, and then I kind of put my experience with anime and manga together with meeting this new girl, and suddenly I understood what Lolita was. And that, I was probably 19, I think, and it all made sense, and I bought my first dress when I was maybe 20. Long story short, I got into it through high school, through manga and anime, and then eventually through YouTube and friends. Part 2 of the question says, if you could design a dress or print or accessories of your dreams, what would they be like? That's a loaded question, but I would say that they would have to have unicorns and stars and moons as the main theme, kind of like Little Twin Stars and Sailor Moon mixed together with just really sweet Lolita motifs. I actually have designs, so maybe one day I'll make some. I have no idea how to say this next name. I'm so sorry if I say it wrong. Etchotenki, I think? Sorry. Asks, what are your thoughts on guys wearing Lolita? That is a great question. I love it. I love guys wearing Lolita, especially when you find guys that really pull off and look really good in it. I went to my first ever drag show, and I know they're not related, this is not the same thing, but I met some drag queens and they knew how to be women better than I did. So on the occasions where I've met guys in Lolita, they just walk so much more confidently in it than I do, so I'm a little bit envious of it. I also like how tall they are because it just makes their legs look really nice when the skirt poofs out and then they've got all these long legs. So I love it. I love guys in Lolita. I think it's great. Mystic Butts asks, great name by the way, have you ever thought of selling your cute plushies online? Yes, I have, and I already do. I will put a link somewhere where you can check out my Patreon and you can have your own cute plushes made for you. Punk Latina asks, I know you're in Scotland. It's nowhere near as hot all year round as it is where I live, which is in the Caribbean. But what tips would you give for wearing Lolita on a hot day? Chiffon. Just wear chiffon everything. Chiffon blouses, not cotton stuff, just material and fabric that can breathe. Maybe don't wear something really OTT so you don't have many layers. Keep it kind of simple. Wear lots of chiffon and floaty, breathable material and carry a fan. If you want to have a fancy fan, have a fancy fan. One of the old-fashioned, you know, Rococo style. I don't know who's fanning like this, but you know what I mean. Star Wars Tuva asks, what's your favourite book? That's a hard question. Hold on, I need to think about that for a second. So it took me a really long time to get into reading. I'm dyslexic, and the time that it would take for the reading voice to become more of a movie than a voice took really long, so it took me a long time to get into reading. The first book series I ever read, all of them, was the Twilight Saga. Don't shame me. At the time it fitted and it just made a lot of sense to me and I got totally sucked into them. I read all of them and I'd never really done that before, and so they're kind of, the books are kind of special to me and I could read them again. I probably would read them again. I'm also a huge fan of like true crime books. They're horrific and horrible and true, but they're so fascinating and I love things about psychology. So Fred and Rose West, horrific, awful book about true life serial killers. A couple, in fact, of true life serial killers. Horrific, but so interesting. I really love fantasy books as well. Some of them are really wordy and I find them a bit hard to keep track of. But there was a book called, I think it's Spellfall, and I have the proof version of it, and it's an amazing fantasy book. It's got unicorns and magic and other worlds, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, but Spellfall, it's amazing. And I can't find it right now. It must be in the attic because there's a lot of stuff in the attic since I moved, but it's like a unicorn book that's like a unicornucopia or something like that, that's kind of written like the historical discovery of the unicorn and this secret brotherhood sworn to protect the secret of unicorn's existence, that is beautiful and it's illustrated and it's just gorgeous. And I read the whole thing totally 100% believing that it was factual, and I'm not saying anything else. Part 2 of that question is, what is your dream destination? In brackets, places that you've not been before. So obviously Japan is my #1 dream destination. It's the place I want to go all the time, but I've been there before. So I would probably have to say Canada. I want to live in Canada. My dream is to one day live in Canada. It is beautiful and I really just want to go there so badly. But overall, I plan to travel everywhere. I really want to go to Egypt because of all the mythology and the history is super cool. I really want to go to Korea as well, and 100% plan to visit every single Disneyland in the world. So I have to go to Hong Kong and Shanghai as well, and of course I absolutely have to go to Disney World, which is in America, so gotta go to America. Kawaii Kirsty asks, ankle socks or OTKs, or maybe tights? That is a good question. I really like ankle socks, especially in Lolita. I love the poofy skirt that cuts kind of on the knee, and then leg, and then ankle socks. I think it makes your feet look really nice, especially inside like Lolita shoes. I like it in other J fashion as well, having really cute shoes and then really cute ankle socks and then a short skirt. I think I just like having my legs out in general. So I would say ankle socks. Tights are kind of fiddly and they annoy me, and I like OTKs. I prefer like thigh-high socks, but I find that I kind of fiddle with them, so ankle socks. Bo asks, how did you start dressing in Lolita? And what's your inspiration? Well, it's just kind of like my story earlier, you know, I discovered it in my early teens and didn't really figure out what it was until many years later, and then I started by buying things from eBay and being a full proper eater. Gladly there's not too many pictures of that, but we all do it. And I just gradually got more confident and bought more pieces, and here we are. What my inspiration is and who my inspiration is are different things. I want to look on the outside like I feel like my personality is, if that makes sense. So I'm inspired by the uplifting, happy, magical nature of all of the things that I like, and I want to represent them all of the time, or as much as humanly possible, so that I can carry it with me wherever I am. And that's kind of my main drive, is to carry all of this on me and with me to represent me everywhere I go. Casper asks, how do you get the motivation to do videos when you're not feeling your best? Sometimes it's just routine, where I'm like, oh hey, it's Friday and I still haven't made a video, so I've got to make one today. So routine really helps. But also I think the drive to be better, being consistent is part of being good at YouTube, I think. And obviously I want to grow my community and talk to more people, so if I'm more present, then I'll be able to reach more people, if that makes sense. So I guess it's just like, it's partly routine and partly determination to grow my audience. But also I really enjoy editing, which is weird because it's very frustrating sometimes, but I like editing. It kind of relaxes me and frustrates me at the same time. And part 2 of that question is, who is your favorite Lolita YouTuber? Who is my favorite? That's a hard question to answer, actually. See, I liked watching Pixie Locks at the start when she was doing Lolita stuff. I like watching her a lot now too. It's just, I guess she's not Lolita so much anymore. I don't actually think I watch a lot of Lolita YouTubers. Obviously I like watching Peachy's videos, especially because she's just been to Japan and I'm living cathartically through her, watching her her Japan vlogs. I don't actually watch that many Lolita YouTubers when I think about it. Is that bad? I think I prefer watching kind of J fashion YouTubers as opposed to just Lolita YouTubers. I really like Deerstalker Pictures when they started, but they haven't really made anything in a while that I've seen, so that's sad. I quite like Lovely Lore as well. Callum asks, who was the first YouTuber to inspire you? I don't know how to answer that, because I saw a lot of YouTubers and I thought, that looks fun. I want to do what they're doing. So I suppose Pixie Locks when she was first starting out, because me and Pixie Locks started at roughly the same time. So I was watching a lot of her stuff when she was putting it out in the beginning. So Pixie Locks. I also liked Abby Pop and Nudorella. I like the energy of the happy YouTubers, and when they put cute sound effects in, that always gave me lots of good ideas. I like to watch the aesthetic of their videos to see how I can light things to make the mood in my space look happier, and like how to pick my music and how to pick my my colors and everything like that. So yeah, probably Abby Pop, Nudrella, Alexa Paletti. Right at the very start, she did a bunch of like kawaii videos, like DIY and stuff. I really enjoyed those, and she gave me a lot of ideas, like design ideas, especially for storing things. I get a lot of inspiration from Instagram. There's a couple of people I follow on Instagram that they give me all of the fashion ideas and all of the like home decor ideas. I like Katie Baby Doll. She's great for Lolita stuff, like really OTT Lolita stuff. Dreamy-Sweetie or Dreamy_Sweetie always has like perfect coordinates. I always think she looks gorgeous, so she really fuels my imagination. That sounded a little seedier than I meant it to. Obviously, like Lolita models like Misako Aoki and Risa Nakamura, they are gorgeous, and I follow them both on Instagram, and they give me loads of ideas for fashion stuff and just everything because they're both adorable and gorgeous. There's a guy on Instagram I really like as well called Ben Mudge, because he has like chronic health conditions, and he's like a muscle building person, so he's really strong and really fit, and he kind of just pushes through all of the pain, suffering and difficulty and lives his best life, and I love that. I love seeing people manage to do that, because I struggle so much to do so many things, and I think how can I? And then I kind of read about or watch people like Ben Mudge, and it just makes me put it in perspective and sort of get myself together and think, come on, stop being so pathetic, get it together, get out there, do it. And the last one I've got here just now is from Abel, who asks, what do you do when you're angry? Oh, that's a good question. It depends on how angry I am. If I'm only kind of angry, I kind of push it into a small ball and hold it deep in my stomach, which I know is not good. If I'm really mad, screaming into a pillow helps. I also like to go out and just run, like find a field or something and just like crazy run. I also am a big fan of punch dancing my rage. Yeah, and swear a lot. I swear a lot when I'm angry.
Wings, you shit! Oh.
Anyway guys, that's it for my first ever Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to do another one, so I'll do another call for it on Instagram, because I got a good response on Instagram, and on my Facebook fan page as well, and we can maybe do another one. Leave me a comment if you would like to do another one, and maybe think about your questions, because I'll answer them all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell thing. Check out my Patreon in the description in the link below, and I will see you guys next time. Love!